Returning to my Coin Lady channel, I am pleased to see you again. The massive size of the market is the reason why XRP holders are often hearing about cross-border payments. The question of why is another important consideration. In fact, it's been decades since cross-border payments themselves were improved. It appears like there's just one major player in this sector, Ripple with XRP, and it's a market with hundreds of trillions of dollars riding on it. It's ready for disruption. We must address this in this video, particularly in regards to the hidden connections between Ripple and Fed currently, as well as Stellar's involvement, which is significant but not as extensive as Ripple's. A fantastic post was published by Ripple not long ago, on September 5. The essay mostly discussed how traditional cross-border payment systems are impeding the growth of crypto firms. The fact that they are so sluggish is making it hard to give clients a variety of fiat payout alternatives, which in turn is hurting crypto firms and the economy as a whole. By eliminating middlemen, resolving international transactions in a matter of seconds, and making cross-border payments available around the clock, Ripple Payments can simplify digital asset off-ramps. Here, SMEs are also important. Even though they are growing at a rapid pace, SMEs are having trouble processing payments across borders. By implementing effective and open solutions, local banks have the power to turn these obstacles to global payments into opportunities for growth. Read our most recent white paper to find out how to ensure that they continue to fully embrace cross-border payments. International money transfers remain their primary concern. Plus, it's hardly shocking. Take a moment to listen. When we delve into the world of Ripple, we can trace its history back to the early 2010s. However, if we narrow our focus to the past year, we can see that Ripple has remained centered around payments. One compelling use case for blockchain technology is payments. A lot of things in the financial sector have stayed the same for decades. With trillions of dollars at stake, it is a financially fraught sector ready for upheaval. The payment system as a whole is in dire need of modernization, and blockchain technology and cryptocurrency offer the perfect solution. This is another reason I consider the relationships. I take a peek at the calendar. When it comes to the cross-border payments sector, Ripple is a member of the BIS workforce dating back to the summer of 2023. This is also related to the fact that Ripple has been collaborating with the International Monetary Fund. I realize it may sound absurd to bring it up again now that it has been public knowledge for almost a year, but it bears repeating. Collaborating with the Federal Reserve, they have been working. For an example, the Federal Reserve Task Force has been collaborating with them since 2017, and they have been focusing on improving the openness and speed of global payments through Ripple. Despite being brevity, this piece does touch on Ripple's collaboration with the Federal Reserve. After 2 years of hard work, the Federal Reserve finally unveiled its plan for faster payments in the US today. The plan, which involved a diverse group of 320 stakeholders including banks, regulators, users, and tech companies, was formed in 2015 in response to the Fed's recognition of the need to spur improvements in payments. Ripple was given the green light as a future global payment system as a result of this vote of confidence. Listen, I'm still very much into this. The fact that the SEC lawsuit's proponents are so eager to dismiss many of these announcements demonstrates, if anything, the nature of the action. It opened the path for Ripple and XRP to be among the first to receive regulatory certainty in this area. The Federal Reserve is now providing this service. The following is a chronology of the immediate payment system run by the Federal Reserve. In 2014, the Federal Reserve established the Faster Payments Task Force with the goal of finding and analyzing different ways to create faster, more secure payment systems and capabilities across the country. Very well. On June 16, 2015, Ripple Labs, appointed to the steering committee of the Federal Reserve's Faster Payments Task Force, is a representative from Ripple Labs. This news comes at roughly the same time as Ripple's official participation of the Federal Reserve Task Force, which is just 2 years later. Keep in mind that even when now offering FedNow service, for this, subjective opinions get a huge thumbs up. We have updated the FedNow certified service providers. I've singled out 8 of them because of their ties to Ripple. In order to facilitate payment processing for participating financial institutions, certified service providers have successfully completed testing and certification. Instant payment services, including bill pay, payroll processing, digital wallets, and API development, are entrusted to these companies. This could reveal ACI Global, a Ripple partner, and BNY Mellon CGI, another Ripple partner, if we were to examine it further. Our inventory includes Finastra, FIS, Temenos, and Delante. The most bizarre part, though, is when we consider all of the other names listed here, such as ESECS. Additionally, Fin links back to Ripple. Many of the participants here have ties to Ripple through other partnerships. Would you mind giving me an example, please? Your name is Finastra. Some of the biggest banks are associated with Delante, and I believe there are 8,000 or more participants linked to Finastra. Considering the chain reaction and interconnectedness of some of these names and the links between them is mind-boggling. This was also released the other day by Fed Payments Improvement. First Citizen State Bank and other community banks stand to gain greatly from the convenience of rapid payments. Knowing that rapid payments would be popular, we wanted to provide them to our consumers quickly, so we sped up the implementation of our FedNow service. This comes straight from the bank. As quickly as possible, we would want to provide these services to our clients. Take a moment to reflect. In a recent video I created, I discussed how Bank of America and JP Morgan have expressed their excitement for XRP and Ripple, stating that they anticipate significant adoption following the case. Despite the litigation, Bank of America has stated their intention to use XRP. Here at Smoke Dog, we know that many other banks are probably thinking the same thing, that FedNow will be the catalyst for instant payments to explode in the US, and that the documentation will continue to be factually focused. Once FedNow reaches 50% adoption nationwide, we will have even more reason to jump on the bandwagon and connect to the network at our current speeds. This information comes from treasuryandrisk.com, and it shows that by the end of 2024, half of all U.S. banks and credit unions will be connected to FedNow. Federal representatives are relying on the fear of missing out, FOMO, in the financial world to encourage adoption of FedNow. There will be more incentive for participants to attempt to connect different domestic instant payment networks when the number of participants across both networks surges into the hundreds and the corporate adoption rate suddenly increases by more than 50%. I mean, isn't that the most important part about this? These days, the United States is where all thoughts about Fed take place. This hasn't gone global just yet, but once it does, everyone will be talking about it. When it does that, it crosses borders. Here, half of all financial institutions will have implemented real-time payment systems by the year 2024. Also over here, about half of the banks want to provide FedNow real-time payments. As we wrap off our discussion of the Federal Reserve and the takeaway for credit unions, I'm putting my money on the financial community's FOMO. It could be a precarious situation to be in from a competitive sense if your bank is unsure about this but your neighboring bank is offering it. One thing I want to remember from this is the idea of a single bank implementing blockchain technology or cryptocurrency. Give that some thought. Well, that's a bank. From a business perspective, it is imperative that all banks use blockchain technology. Additionally, tokenization will be considered. It stands out to me. Since the number of institutions is increasing at a steady rate, I'm relying on fear of missing out. Another issue is that we should only talk about success stories while explaining rapid payments and their benefits in tail words. Yes, this is really taking place. Additionally, a new study from 2024 titled Trends in Regional Payments provides important proof from Ripple that FedNow will be ubiquitous in the following year. The document explores several payment methods, with FedNow serving as a central focus. In their own words, the document makes it quite apparent that the adoption of FedNow will have networking consequences within the next year. Ripple defines network. We are impacted by it. Because it's on everyone's radar, everyone will be using it. The viewer's presence here is greatly appreciated. Thank you for watching my channel and for subscribing. I will see you later.